Okay, Lindsay, really quick. So I opened up your file and I just went in here and I started doing modifications. First of all, when we look at your layers, you said that it was creating new layers. I don't believe that it was making new layers. It was actually creating these new paths in here as you draw. So as you're drawing and you close a path, or even if you don't close it, it'll automatically create one of these paths. So these you could just go in here and rename. So if you know this is like this top bubble here, you can call it like bubble 1. And then you can do this one if this is like a highlight or something. I don't know which part this is. I'm trying to see where it's turning off. Let me check. Huh, strange. Oh, down here. So you can say like highlight. Okay, or whatever. So basically this is fine. When you want to create a new layer, like you did the main water layer or this main land layer, then what you want to do is say that you have the water layer here. As long as you get on the surface, not in here, as long as you're not clicked in here, just close it up and then create a new layer. That's this one here. Then you should be able to create another one like the guy. And then you should be able to grab the pencil and just start tracing, you know, the head of the guy, okay? So that's, I think that's what you're doing because it looks like the stuff is where it's supposed to be. I'm not sure if what you're not able to get is the land inside the land, but it doesn't look like there's anything actually in there, okay? So I think it should be able to make it on the right layer. Let me check here. It put it in the guy layer, so I think it's working for me. The only thing I can think of, if it's still doing that, it's not putting it in the right layer for you, then it probably means that you need to restart your program. Okay, so on that note, I think it looks fine. I think you just need to continue tracing, okay? But what I wanted to tell you, the thing that I did notice that you're not doing correctly is that you're not doing everything in closed shape. So you managed to do it here because this comes all the way around and that's good. But for like this item here, you didn't close it, okay? And to show you how that it's closed, do you go here, see how it goes all the way around, okay? To close an existing one that is open, you just go select it first, then grab your pencil, go to the end, get that little slash mark, and then come all the way around. And again, remember, don't worry about the overlap, and then come around until you see that circle, and then it's closed. For this bottom part, even though it looks like it's a line, you want a shape here because you want to be able to color it differently or create another little area. So what you do is go ahead and grab your pencil again and then go to the end, wait for that slash to let you know you're continuing from the last point. Come back around and do this, okay? So basically, and if you want to smooth it out, you can always grab your smooth tool here. And then you can, as long as it's selected, you can kind of run across it and see if that kind of smooths it out a little bit better for you. Okay, don't forget that you have the white arrow where you can modify some of these points because they're not going to come out, especially with the pencil tool, you're not going to get them correct all the time. Okay, see this one where it's not curved, and then just curve it so you can get your bubble to be a little bit more organic. Okay, over here in the head, you know, you don't want it to just go straight like that, so you could arch these here, grabbing the handles. Okay, and then you can always, if you didn't trace right along the edge, you can always do that. Okay, so don't just leave it the way that it draws with the pencil. Make sure you go in there and make some refinements as you go along, okay? Oops, cancel. I'm going to undo. Sorry, my sketch shifted, so I would lock that. Okay, going back to the guy here. And then kind of just move these around. Don't worry if it looks all tangled up. You just got to kind of sometimes untwist these or twisted here. Just untwist them and modify them, okay? Sometimes they're a little tough to get, and it's just a matter of getting used to how to work with these. Sometimes you have to pull the handles back in so they're not so extreme, okay? All right, so you're going to want to do that for all of these things, everything. When you draw these guys, don't just make one big shape around. What you want to do is you want to actually, I'm going to do it with the pen tool just because it's easier for me, but you're going to want to create this shape here. Make sure you add those little curves to make it look like it's coming out of the ground there. Okay, and then I'm going to go this way and go all the way down. And I'm going to create the overlap. Okay, and that way if you need to color these segments slightly different, you can, like different colors. like the gummy worms that are different colors, okay? So do that. Don't just go all the way around and then just draw a line, because that's not going to do much for you. You want to go all the way around. All the way around each individual shape. That way you have more control of each area. Okay, so closing of the shapes, that's very important. On the edge here, this one, when I said you don't have to trace right alongside the edge, you can go out. What I would do is just grab it and move it out. Everything that falls off outside of the page, here and here, it'll automatically be cropped out eventually. It'll crop out when you save it. Okay, see this one? It's actually not even closed, so you're going to want to close that. Wait for that diagonal and then that little circle. Okay, so let it fall off the page. Don't worry if it's better that it's off and then it'll self-crop than that it's not off enough. Okay, so you're going to want to do that for all of these areas. Don't draw like a pencil. Think in shapes. Think if you were cutting this out of construction paper. Okay, because otherwise if you try to fill this in with color as it is, when you start applying color, see how it's not going to create that shape? But if you go and you define the shape all the way around, when you fill that with color, it will fill with color. Okay? So those are the only things that I noticed. The layers, otherwise it seems like it's fine. Just when you create new layers, come out to the main layers out here and create new layers so it's not embedded within here, because I think that might have been what you did in here, is you embedded a layer within a layer, like a sub layer. Okay, and if you do sub layers like this, like you can say these are all my bubbles within the water layer, you can then drag these inside there if you want to do that. But otherwise, if you don't want to embed like nested sub layer inside of this water layer, then you want to go out here. So if you're starting a new object, go to the main surface layer. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps. I will talk to you soon. And if not, you know, you can make an appointment to meet with me either on Wednesday, or if like Tuesday works better for you, if your daughter doesn't have ballet or something, we might be able to work something like that out. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.